Good day everyone. This is your Vedic astrology coach Rahat Kapoor and welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. In my channel, I make videos on Vedic astrology and the important transits and how it has impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. In case you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, you can check out the link to my website here and also in the comment section and the process of reaching out to me. This is the next video in my series of video on Jupiter's transit in the sign of Taurus. And in the past, I have made different videos. I have made a video on Jupiter's transit, how it will have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. I have also made a specific video on Jupiter's aspects and how these aspects play a role for different ascendant signs. I also made a video on Jupiter's combustion all the while and what are the kind of challenges and certain benefits that we could render during this time. This video is unique. It is the fourth video in this series that I have on Jupiter's transit in the sign of Taurus, which is going to go for the next 1 year till 14th of May 2025. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what happens when Jupiter moves over your natal planets. So for example, if you have some natal planets in the sign of Taurus, what is that you can expect? So Jupiter crossing over your natal planets that are either in the sign of Taurus, or if Jupiter is aspecting these natal planets, because Jupiter is going to be aspecting 3 signs while in the sign of Taurus. Jupiter will be aspecting the sign of Virgo by its 5th special aspect. Jupiter will be aspecting the sign of Scorpio by its 7th aspect, which is only a 50% aspect, and Jupiter will be aspecting the sign of Capricorn by its 9th special aspect. So if you have planets in any of these signs, then you must also watch this video and try to understand some of the implications. One thing that I'd like to make it very clear is Jupiter moving over natal planets, it is extremely positive. It is an opportunity transit for you, and how it will have an impact and of course benefit you is something that we'll learn through this video. Let's try and understand if Jupiter is moving over your natal sun. So this is applicable to those who have sun in the sign of Taurus, or even if you have sun in the sign of Virgo, in the sign of Scorpio, or in the sign of Capricorn. So this is where it applies. What happens when Jupiter is moving over your natal sun? Okay, so firstly, in this case, we need to understand the kind of lordship that sun has in the chart. So if it has a good lordship, if it rules any of the Kendra quadrant houses or trinal houses, this could be an extremely favorable transit. Overall, I also see this transit to be extremely favorable because whenever Jupiter and Sun come together, they form a royal yoga. It is an indication of lineage. What does Sun represent? Sun represents royalty, authority, leadership, government. Sun is the significator of all the resources. So any resources that we have to make a new start to anything, be it work, how we get energy from, this is all represented by the Sun. Sun is the father or the father figure. He is the authority, he is the king. Jupiter is knowledge, wisdom and indicator of wealth of all kinds. It is the significator of all the kinds of teaching in this world. It rules Vedas or Shastras, higher education, spiritual education or knowledge. When this transit Jupiter is moving over your natal sun, it indicates expansion of resources. So you could get new opportunities to create new resources and leverage these resources to create and build new opportunities for yourself. This is extremely favorable for native's father because father is likely to prosper during this time. This also indicates that Sun is the giver of all Raj Yogas, and Jupiter's transit over the natal sun is indicating that these Raj Yogas, if they are active during this time by the virtue of Dasha Antardasha, could deliver extremely favorable results. This is also an indication of starting something new or a new beginning because Sun is initiation, Sun represents consistency. Sunrise brings in a lot of energy in terms of starting your day or starting something new, and Jupiter's knowledge and wisdom coming together here could indicate a new start, new beginning. So those who work with senior leaders or people with a lot of knowledge, wisdom, they could get some favors from these people. It is leadership and wisdom coming together during this transit which could give you some very positive results, and in case you're going through a favorable Dasha Antardasha where some Raj Yoga is activated, this is the time when by the virtue of Sun and Jupiter's blessing, this could be pretty much active and fulfilled during this time. Now, Jupiter's aspect on your natal sun, if it is the 5th aspect, which is the aspect of knowledge. Jupiter is showering knowledge on this sun, trying to ensure that you leverage your authority and leadership potential to the best of your capability. So in case you work with other people, you will have a command over them. In case you want to learn a particular skill or two, this could be an extremely favorable time to pick up a course or do something to further educate yourself. If Jupiter is aspecting Sun, your natal Sun by its 7th aspect, this means that there's a mutual aspect between your natal Sun and the transit Jupiter. So this will give you mixed results because Sun's aspect has a lot of tej, it has fire, it burns and blinds the one who is opposite. That is why we say that if it's a Leo ascendant, we should not sit opposite to them because they would blind you. We should always sit on the side of the king, who is the head of the table. And in this case, it will give you mixed results. So you will have to put in a lot more efforts in terms of enhancing your knowledge and wisdom and trying to use that to the best of your capability. If Jupiter is aspecting your natal Sun by its 9th aspect, which is the aspect of higher learning, higher growth and higher wisdom. So this could be a potentially favorable time to get some favors from the government, to get some favors from leaders that you work with, reach out to them and try to get as much recognition as you can, as much fame as you can, and build your resources. These people will play a very important role in terms of supporting to ensure that your resources are in place. Your father or some father figure or your guru is going to play an instrumental role in order to ensure that you are being supported during this transit. So this is about Jupiter's connection with your natal Sun while transiting the sign of Taurus and how it will have an impact. Now let's talk about transit Jupiter moving over your natal moon or aspecting your natal moon. So this is applicable for all Taurus moon signs. Those who have moon in the sign of Taurus, how this Jupiter is going to support your natal moon and try to deliver results associated to moon. This also applies to Jupiter aspecting your natal moon. So quite applicable for Virgo moon signs, for Scorpio moon signs and Capricorn moon signs. Jupiter's connection with moon is very special because whenever Jupiter and moon come together, or if they are in quadrant from each other, Kendra houses from each other, it forms a Gajakesari yoga, which is one of the most powerful and auspicious yogas to have in any chart. Moon is the significator of mind, mother, compassion, care. At a mundane level, from a physical results point of view, Sun is the giver of Raj Yoga, Moon is the giver of fame, recognition, all the kinds of success that is material in nature is represented by moon. So no matter what kind of yogas you have in the chart, if moon is not favoring, if the transit is not supportive, you would not likely to get fame and recognition there. Okay, so this transit of Jupiter, it is happening on your natal moon. So firstly, moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus. We would need to understand the kind of lordship moon has in your chart and accordingly determine how this transit Jupiter is going to support, because there is a lot of maturity which is coming in your mind. You're likely to build maturity. You're likely to create a sense of balance. I would not say that this is an indicator of a strong mind, but it is an indicator of a well balanced mind, because this is extremely important to deal with different emotions in different time of the year. So throughout the year, one thing is very sure, that you will be able to deal and navigate through different emotional situations that you come across with people in your life. Okay, I would rather consider this transit to be the time of your life, because when moon is in strength, when moon gets support, maturity, wisdom, wealth from Jupiter, the mind works at its optimum potential. So this year you're likely to get some recognition, fame, success. In case your ongoing dasha, antardasha is supportive, this could be a potentially breakthrough time, because when your mind is strong, you will take the right decisions, you will do the right actions, you will take care of your belongings. And Jupiter and moon coming together forming a Gajakesari yoga in transit is also indicator of gain of wealth as well as wisdom. You will have a command over other people. So if you like to influence others, this could be a potentially favorable time, because at a mental level, people will be able to connect with you. They will come to you to seek advice and you will be the advice giver to those people. If this transit Jupiter is aspecting your natal moon by its 5th aspect, this is quite supportive as far as any and every learning is concerned. Small matters in your life. You would like to read something every day. You would get inclined towards picking up a skill which is very much practical in nature. You would like to take up a course. You would like to learn each and every day. And if this Jupiter is aspecting your natal moon by its 9th aspect, let's say you have Capricorn moon, then you would like to teach others, you would like to share your wisdom and knowledge with others. One of the remedies that you could do with this kind of placement is to sponsor other children's education, those who need, or do some sort of charity as far as educational pursuits are concerned, because you would want to teach. So if you cannot do it yourself, in case you don't have the time, give your resources, offer help. In case you have moon in the sign of Scorpio, this is an extremely beneficial time because Jupiter is aspecting your natal moon by its 7th aspect, and they have a mutual aspect in transit, activating the Gajukesari Yoga to its ultimate potential. So your mind is pretty well balanced. It will help you make some good decisions. It will help you start something new. It will help you get ways to become successful. It will help you identify ways to become successful in anything and everything that you're doing. Quite a breakthrough time for you. I would say this is the time of the year. This time is yours, and please make the most of it. Let's now talk about Jupiter transiting over your natal Mars. In case your natal Mars is in the sign of Taurus, or if it is in the sign of Virgo, Scorpio and Capricorn, this is very much applicable to you. Now, Jupiter's transit over any planets, any natal planets, is always very positive because it brings abundance, it brings wisdom, knowledge, growth related to significations of these graha, related to the lordship of this planet. Jupiter and Mars share a friendly relationship. They are like the best of friends, and they get along pretty well as far as from an ancient concept is concerned. Mars represents courage, it represents valor, it is the highest energy that is there, it is a fiery planet. It also represents anger, aggression, but if that is channelized appropriately with wisdom and knowledge, it could deliver some very good results. Mars is the commander of the army. It is the planet that represents immunity, your body, vitality, and plays a very important role in longevity of the individuals. Mars also is all about passion. It is about courage. So relationship matters. Mars plays a very important role because this is where passion is all about. Jupiter is wisdom, knowledge, wealth. Okay, some of these significations which are very important. And Jupiter is the master of all Shastras and Vedas, and of course all the higher spiritual knowledge. He is the guru. While Jupiter is making a transit over your natal Mars, there is a rise and expansion of valor, courage that you will see during this time, because there is energy and there is wisdom coming together. So anything that you learn, you will have a lot of energy in terms of learning new concepts, new things, and new skills that you would like to pick up. You would naturally bring in a lot more energy, enthusiasm in anything that you do. The way you treat others, the way you teach others, in terms of your relationship, you would bring in passion, and you would also bring in a sense of wisdom and maturity. If you're in a relationship, you can expect that to be more mature and more strengthened during this time. Your relationship with your siblings, in case you have siblings, are going to strengthen during this time because you would need each other's support more at a knowledge and wisdom level. So you might need to support your younger siblings by the virtue of sharing your knowledge or wisdom during this time. So this is something which you can watch out for. Jupiter's transit over your natal Mars is extremely supportive. So the kind of lordship that Mars has in your chart and the kind of dasha antardasha you are going through, this could further make you extremely courageous and passionate about anything that you're doing. Your passion will be reflected in your work. Whatever you do, your actions that you take, other people will recognize those actions. Other people will appreciate the kind of passion and energy you bring. And that will sound like infectious to people. You will attract other people by your infectious positive energy and also commitment during this time. In case Jupiter is aspecting your natal Mars, let's say by its 5th aspect, okay, it is again very positive because this will incline you or make you learn something new with a lot of energy. You would want to learn some interesting concepts, some very hidden subjects or knowledge. If Jupiter and Mars are in mutual aspect, if let's say your natal Mars is in the sign of Scorpio, which is its own sign, Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Taurus. So this is one time when both are aspecting each other. So it's a wealth yoga, it's a wealth transit. And this is where you will have enough opportunities to gain wealth through your business. So in case you have business, that is likely to flourish. In case you're expecting some sort of inheritance, this could be a potentially favorable time for you at a natural level. Otherwise, you need to understand Mars's lordship in your chart. Because Jupiter is aspecting your natal Mars by its 9th aspect, that means you have an exalted Mars. Those who have Mars in the sign of Capricorn, this is the time of the year because your work is going to prosper. You are going to be recognized at your workplace. You're likely to land a better and a higher paying job or something which is very different to what you're doing. So make sure that you try this year. This could really help you to get something that you have been desiring for since a long time. Okay, so this is an extremely favorable circumstances for you. Jupiter's transit over your natal Mars is fortunate, so may you make the most of it. If let's say this transit Jupiter is moving over your natal Mercury during this time, for those who have Mercury in the sign of Taurus, which is your natal Mercury. Now this Mercury is already in its best friend sign Venus. Jupiter is Guru. Mercury is Shishya. It is the teacher and student relationship. This is the kind of relationship with both have. Mercury represents management, intelligence. It is the significator of money. So wealth and money, particularly as far as wealth is concerned, Mercury rules all of that. It rules all kinds of business, communication, trade, your daily routines and things that you do on a day-to-day basis, and also the kind of growth that you have in your life. Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is the significator of expansion. It is the biggest planet. So therefore, it is supporting Mercury during this time in order to enhance your management capabilities. So you would bring wisdom in your management style. You would want to learn new concepts of leadership and managing others, how you could bring not only eloquence in your communication, but knowledge and wisdom in your communication. That will be the key in terms of interacting with others. You will sound and of course appear to be a good student and also a good teacher towards others as well. Now whether you will be a good student or a good teacher, this will depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha, and also depending on your age as well, you could experience some of these results. From a wealth point of view, particularly from a finances point of view, income, and when it comes to cash in hand and money, this could be a potentially favorable time. Condition that you try and make some decisions for long-term investments during this time, which could be extremely favorable for you. So any learning, any gain of new knowledge, wisdom and things which could help you become successful in your work, this is an extremely favorable time. If Jupiter is aspecting your natal Mercury, let's say you have Mercury in the sign of Virgo, which is an exalted Mercury, this Jupiter is aspecting your natal Mercury, this could really fix a lot of things in your life. This could really make you very much communicative towards others and also lay the path for a good future, foundation for a good future during this time. And this is a time for you to set some goals for yourself, because you would like to learn something, to learn in order to improve and enhance your management capabilities, and your business dealings are going to improve during this time. The kind of relationships that you have and the virtue of your communication, you're going to make some very good decisions and some good deals during this time. If you have Mercury, let's say in the sign of Scorpio, Jupiter is aspecting by its 50% aspect, your natal Mercury is also aspecting your transit Jupiter. So these energies are a bit conflicting in nature, but at the same time you would want to put your communication in a way that you try and learn from others, and also at the same time teach back. You share what you've learned. The more you share what you learn, the higher will be your power of retention and how you would apply that learning. If you have Mercury, let's say in the sign of Capricorn, Jupiter is aspecting this Mercury by its 9th aspect, you would want to have a lot of money. You would want to make a lot of money during this year, right? So you could expect increment, you could expect salary increase, you could expect some bonus, some promotion. In case your dasha antardasha is supportive, or a new opportunity or some big transactions that you could watch out for, you would see a considerable improvement in your financial position, is what I'm trying to say during this time, in case your dasha antardasha is supportive during this time. So these are the kind of results you could expect if Jupiter is connected to your natal Mercury during this transit. Let's now talk about Jupiter transiting over your natal Jupiter. For those who have Jupiter in the sign of Taurus in their natal chart, how this time is going to be. So this is your Jupiter return from a simple aspect, I would say. So Jupiter takes 12 years to come back to this sign. So it has taken 12 years to move back to the sign of Taurus. Important ages for us as far as Jupiter return is concerned is 12 years, 24 years, 36 years, 48 years, 60 years, 72 years, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are remarkable ages. Now, I always say, and based on the learning that I have as far as Jyotish is concerned, we do not extensively read horoscopes of children till the age of 12 years. The reason for that is because Jupiter makes its first return at the age of 12, and this is where the teenage starts. This is where, you know, it is also the year of puberty that children achieve, and this is where they start becoming a bit more independent in terms of, you know, they go through big changes, massive changes as far as body is concerned, as far as psychology is concerned, as far as at the mental level and also at the physical level. So after 12 years, the chart and the planets are pretty much active. Up till the age of 12, it is more or less the karma of the parents. Now, one of the reasons for that is because Jupiter makes its first return. So, bringing that big change in life. So, all these years, 12 years, 24 years, 36 years, 48 years are remarkable years. Why? Because Jupiter is making a return. So, this is an year of transformation. This is an year of change. Life-changing events, path-breaking events, path-finding events happen at these ages. So, you would be in the search of finding a path or occurrence of events that you could truly connect or resonate with. So, this is a path breaking time. You could have certain lessons all throughout the year that would lay the foundation for the next 10 to 12 years and how your life path is going to be, and this will depend on the kind of lordship Jupiter has, what is the kind of dasha antardasha that you are running through this time. But one common factor is it brings a lot of maturity, responsibility, and it is also favoring wealth and any kind of support, or your relationship with children. Those who have children could foster, could prosper during this time. Those who do not have, they could plan to have children, or your connection with children would increase during this time. Otherwise, it depends on, you know, what's happening in the chart and how it is favoring. But overall, anyone having a Jupiter return, this is a transformative year as far as wisdom, learning, and new opportunities are concerned. It will take you to the next level. In case this transit Jupiter is aspecting your natal Jupiter, let's say by its 5th aspect, you would want to spend a lot of time in terms of unlearning and then learning something new. You would want to keep some of those things aside, or you would want to also learn new concepts. So, unlearning and learning is the key word for 5th aspect of Jupiter. In case you have Jupiter, your natal Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio, this transit Jupiter is aspecting your natal Jupiter by the 7th aspect, giving its further strength. So, you have an increased desire as far as wealth creating opportunities are concerned, as far as your higher learning or wisdom is concerned, as far as your relationship with your guru is concerned or your mentor. This could be potentially favorable. If this Jupiter is aspecting by its 9th aspect, if you have Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, which is a debilitated Jupiter, so this is quite a breakthrough year because you have been extremely supported by this transit Jupiter. You will have the ability to share your wisdom and also intention of sharing your knowledge and resources with others, and other people will gain a lot by the virtue of your knowledge and wisdom. So overall, a very transformative year, a very positive year, and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Jupiter transiting over your natal Venus and how it can have an impact. So this is applicable for those who have Venus in the sign of Taurus. And what will this transit Jupiter do as far as some of the significations are concerned? So you need to firstly understand the kind of lordship that Venus has. And if your natal Venus is in the sign of Taurus, it is in its own sign. That's a pretty strong Venus which is there. So from a wealth point of view, it is quite a positive year. It is quite a positive transit. And also, considering the fact that both Jupiter and Venus represents knowledge. Jupiter represents spiritual knowledge, higher knowledge. Venus represents mundane knowledge, and those knowledge which is very practical in nature. That's something which you can implement, which is quite modern in nature. So you would want to learn new concepts, more about AI, more about machine learning, some of the emerging concepts that are there. So you will be very much inclined towards technology and some of these things which would be very beneficial for you, because if you pick up these skills, you will prosper as far as work opportunities for you are concerned. So from a wealth point of view, this is quite a favorable transit, because Jupiter, which is the significator of wealth, Venus, which is the significator of luxuries and abundance. So this Jupiter is making a transit over your natal Venus, expanding the significations of this Venus. It will make you more interactive with others. You will build very credible and long lasting relationships with people. If you work with those people who are of the opposite sex, so for example, if you're a male and you work with females, you are likely to be benefited by, let's say, if you have female clients or colleagues or bosses, so you're likely to get some favors. You're also likely to get favors from those who demonstrate higher wisdom, or those people who you know are very knowledgeable in nature, who bring some credential. So make connections with those people and get some favors during this time. Okay, so you would start loving knowledge. You would also start helping others, and particularly if you do something for women empowerment, women welfare, this could be a potentially favorable year for you. If, let's say, Jupiter is aspecting your natal Venus by its 5th aspect, by its 7th aspect, or by its 9th aspect, one thing is very common during this time, particularly with the 5th and the 9th aspect, that you would want to have the best of knowledge and you would want to have the best of luxuries, or the ultimate luxuries during this time. So it's equivalent to say you would want to master, anything that you learn, and at the same time you might want to drive a BMW. So this is the kind of result, or at the mental level, this transit will make you think of doing. You want the best of both worlds. Okay, so this could be quite conflicting in nature as well, so you have to be a bit cautious. But this Jupiter will help you channelize your Venus in the right direction, in the appropriate direction, helping you make very good decisions, helping you strengthen those relationships, and helping you attract wealth at the material level, and also at the level of knowledge, which is the real wealth. So you're likely to gain as much as you can during this time. So I say, though both have very opposite energies, both share enmity as well, but when they form a yoga, when Jupiter is making a natal transit over your Venus and aspecting your natal Venus, this is quite a breakthrough time. This is quite a favorable time as far as relationship building is concerned, wealth related matters are concerned, your overall interaction is concerned, and improving your overall personality is concerned. So this is an year to look out for you, and I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Jupiter transiting your natal Saturn during this time. So those who have Saturn in the sign of Taurus, how Jupiter's transit will channelize your Saturn. Saturn represents discipline. It represents work, any kind of commitment. It represents the labor, or those who work very hard. Saturn's also the significator of sorrow, and Jupiter is the removal of sorrow. So this is quite a supportive transit, because Jupiter and Saturn have an interesting relationship. One rules dharma, the other rules karma. So it is forming a very powerful yoga, which is a dharma karma natural yoga during this transit. If you have transit Jupiter over your natal Saturn, this could be quite a breakthrough transit as far as work related matters or pursuits are concerned. So your actions that you take in terms of anything that you do from a workplace point of view is going to bring very positive results, in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. In case you want to venture into something new as far as work related matters are concerned, as far as a new opportunity is concerned, a job or starting a business, this could be an extremely favorable year, considering your dasha is favorable, because the yoga is positive. So it is bringing in discipline, and it is putting in wisdom in this discipline. So you will try to use your discipline. You're just not disciplined by the namesake. Okay, you would try to use that in your day-to-day life, in the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. You're likely to increase your knowledge, and at the same time you're likely to get support from others, particularly those people who work for you. In case you have a business, or you lead a team, or you work with some junior people, you are likely to be benefited by these people. The condition is that you have to take care of them. You have to also ensure that you support their learning and growth during this time. Let's say if Jupiter is making this transit in the sign of Taurus and aspecting your natal Saturn, for those who have Saturn in the sign of Virgo, Jupiter is aspecting it by its 5th aspect. Extremely supportive as far as some quick wins are concerned. So very quickly you would see some results coming in, because Jupiter will ensure that things do not delay by the slow energy and the cold energy of Saturn, and you're likely to get some results as far as at a physical level is concerned. If you have, let's say, Saturn in the sign of Capricorn, which is a natal Saturn, or in the sign of Scorpio, this will again speed up things. This will remove any kind of bureaucracy that is involved in terms of your paperwork, or those who are likely to move outside of their home country and trying to settle abroad. This could be a potentially favorable time and a favorable transit which could support these pursuits. You are also likely to learn from people who are from different cultures and different backgrounds and try to build credible relationships with them. So quite a breakthrough transit and a transit of wisdom and discipline coming together in your life, and may you make the most of it by practicing each and every day. Let's now talk about transit Jupiter over your natal Rahu and how it is going to have an impact. What are the kind of results that you can expect? I consider this as all positive because firstly, those who have Rahu in the sign of Taurus, this is where Rahu gets exalted. This is where it is considered to be the Ayush or a longevity exaltation of Rahu, which works at its full potential. This is an interesting sign because this is a sign where Moon gets exalted, and this is also ruled by Shukra or Venus. Now, Jupiter's transit over your natal Rahu is the year of fulfillment of your desires, the desires that you've had since a long time, that you're trying to control, trying to curtail, or trying to use some other mediums where you have not been successful. This is an opportunity window for you to channelize these energies because Rahu has a lot of energy, a lot of power. This is the power of abundance. It is the power of expansion. Rahu is full of desires, all the kinds of desires in the world. It has a mouth, a big mouth, and it wants to eat and consume everything, all the kinds of knowledge, comfort and material things in life. It has no limit. There is unlimited potential which you have during this time, which will work quite in a positive way because Jupiter is the only planet, only graha that can channelize Rahu in the right manner, in the appropriate direction. Therefore, we always recommend that to channelize Rahu and take care of it and control and ensure that it works positively, remedies come from Jupiter because he is the guru, right? Jupiter is the most benefic planet. It is the natural benefic planet, and these are the kind of desires which Rahu has. He wants all the kinds of wealth, material, luxuries and all comforts, and for that he is ready to take some very wrong decisions and some very bad decisions as well, and all the bad things, right? But this is where Jupiter will be able to command this Rahu to move in the right direction. You will be able to navigate political situation as far as your workplace is concerned, relationship with bosses, authority, with the government, right? You would like to have abundance of knowledge in your life, but here you need to be careful, right? While being knowledgeable, you should not come across as a know-it-all person to others. So ego is something which you have to keep aside. You need to practice humility, learn, respect your knowledge and respect those who are giving you this knowledge, because if you will not respect them, you will not be able to sustain this knowledge. So this is something which is a word of caution that I am giving you. If your transit Jupiter is aspecting your natal Rahu, for those who have Rahu in the sign of Virgo, it's already a quite strong Rahu as far as the natal planet placement is concerned. This Jupiter will channelize Rahu in an appropriate direction, which will help you set some good goals for your near future. It will also establish credible relationship with your children. In case you do not have children, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. It will also help you build some good workplace relationships as well, which could be pretty good as far as your future pursuits are concerned. In case you have Rahu in the sign of Scorpio, this Jupiter with its 50% aspect will again try to channelize Rahu, but you could be on a path that you're trying to deviate from your learning, or not willing to learn something new. So this could be a chance wherein you feel, okay, you know it all, there is nothing there for you to learn. So you have to be mindful of the situation and be very much open to learning new concepts and things here, right? If you have a little Rahu in the sign of Capricorn, this Jupiter will really channelize it in a way that you would want to expand other people's knowledge. You will play a lot of role in terms of building other people's capability and potential, and in a way this will make you achieve some sort of authoritative position, some sort of leadership position, which could be quite good for you, and I hope that you make the most of this time. Now let's talk about transit Jupiter moving over your natal Ketu. Now this is for those who have natal Ketu in the sign of Taurus. If that is there in your chart, this Jupiter is moving over your natal Ketu. Ketu represents all the spiritual things in this world. Ketu is a very non-materialistic graha. It has a body. There are no desires which Ketu has, right? Still, it plays a very important role in wealth-related matters, in success of people. Ketu is a kind of graha which can make you go from rags to riches in a very quick, successive manner, depending on certain criteria if it is fulfilled. Therefore, Ketu's dasha is the shortest dasha of them all. But then, amongst all the other grahas, Ketu can make someone grow very fast, and at the same time it can also bring your downfall in an equally fast manner. So these are the kind of energies which Ketu has. These are extreme energies. Now Jupiter is moving over your natal Ketu. Both have one common aspect as the nature is concerned. Both are very spiritual as far as knowledge is concerned. So this is the best time for spiritual knowledge, mastering Vedas, Shastras, ancient knowledge, things which are very deep, hidden in nature, secretive in nature, because Ketu naturally rules the sign of Scorpio, and this is also where it gets exalted. If your Ketu is placed in the sign of Taurus, it's a weak Ketu. Jupiter is going to strengthen. You would like to have the path towards spiritual liberation, spiritual upliftment, and gain all kinds of spiritual knowledge. You will have an affinity towards dogs in case you've likely to keep a pet dog or work towards animal welfare. This could be a potentially favorable time. You would like to do a lot for animals, and particularly for dogs. You will master all the spiritual knowledge and also try to share with others, and this is how you would be able to channelize these things in your life for your betterment. So this is quite a breakthrough transit, because Ketu is fire and Jupiter is that wisdom which is coming over Ketu, and it is helping this Ketu channelize and have a good vision, have a very positive vision, and help you make some very good decisions, because Ketu's influence brings a lot of illusion, it brings a lot of confusion, because it makes you feel directionless. So this Jupiter is really helping you have a vision, have a sense of direction, and the kind of steps you need to take in order to achieve some of the goals that you have, right? It is a wealth making transit, and you should be able to do something for yourself in a very quick, successive manner. So if you're looking for some breakthrough deals, some transactions that are of high value in nature, that has profitability, rise in income, right, have some sort of incentives, new income, increment, this could be a potentially favorable time where you can get it in a very unexpected manner, in a very quick or a fast manner as well. If this transit Jupiter is aspecting your natal Ketu by its fifth aspect, let's say, it is supporting this Ketu to make some right decisions for yourself. One thing that you must do during this time is, in case you have Ketu in the sign of Virgo, you should meditate. You should chant mantras related to either Vishnu or related to Mercury during this time, which will help you mobilize this Ketu in the right manner, which could give you some very good relationships with people, and at the same time, in the matters of love and interest also it could be positive. If your Ketu is a sign of Scorpio and Jupiter is making a seventh aspect with Ketu, that is a mutual aspect, Ketu does not have any aspect. So even if it gets 50% aspect of Jupiter, it will be quite positive for this Ketu to uplift yourself spiritually. So meditate, do pranayam, yoga, and some of these things can really help you. If you have Ketu in the sign of Capricorn, Jupiter is aspecting by its ninth aspect. Teach others. You would like to share your spiritual wisdom and knowledge with others. The more you do, the better it will be for you, for your overall mindfulness, managing stress, and bringing in a lot of happiness and sense of contentment or fulfillment in your life. So this could be the kind of experiences that you're likely to have this year, and for that I wish you the very best. So this was a short, simple, sweet video on Jupiter's transit in the sign of Taurus, and if Jupiter is making a connection by passing over your natal planets in the sign of Taurus or aspecting your other natal grahas that might be placed in the sign of Virgo, Scorpio or Capricorn, and how it is going to have an impact. I hope and wish Jupiter's transit brings a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and increases our potential towards making wealth of all kinds in life, and may you have a blessed transit. Thank you very much. God bless you all.